Hello, and welcome to the Duke and Dutch Show. Thank you for joining us on another episode. My name is Duke. We are joined by my buddy Dutch. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, man. How's everything going with you?
Not bad. Beautiful day today. Not too hot, not too cold. I'll take the good days when they come, especially in Pennsylvania. How are we doing today on topics? What are we going to be covering?
We got a few topics to get into. Like I told you before the show started, a little difficult
All right.
today. Not too much going on, but we have some lighter topics, which I think is good. We don't always want to get into
Good to
politics.
have light days sometimes.
Our,
Yep.
our first topic is going to get pretty heavily into politics. We got to talk about Hunter Biden has returned from the abyss. He's back with a
Oh,
vengeance. He wants to slam the Republicans. He wants to slam the Democrats. And he wants the illegals to clean his toilets. After that, we got to talk about the WNBA. They want to be paid what they are owed. And that is going to be a very, very interesting segment.
oh,
And
we can't wait to talk about it.
after that, we're going to talk about some of the celebrities, mainly Ellen DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell, who have fled the country because of their Trump derangement. And I say, listen, I say more power to them. I think that's great. You know,
I know you can't wait to talk about that one.
I don't think it's particularly that interesting, but I have to say I do give a lot of credit to these people when they said we're going to leave because Trump's going to get elected.
Hey, at
I
least
think
they're being
you're going to stand by your
they're
convictions. I think that's
they're
great.
being people of their words. Yep.
Stand by your convictions, obviously. I really wanted to start with this. Obviously, it's just a meme, but you can see Rosa Parks here. Nice statue to her. And they still won't give her a seat. What did they mean by this? What's happening here?
That's interesting that
She's
like
chairless.
they couldn't have at least sculptured a
They
bench
still
with her
won't
or
give her a
something.
seat after all
A
this
seat,
time.
yeah.
Rosa Parks is one of the most famous people ever for sitting down, but they won't give her a chair. What did they
At
mean?
least she's depicted sitting down, but yeah, no chair. There wasn't enough money in the budget for the chair.
What did they mean by this? I don't know. I'm completely confused. But let's move on to
No,
our first subject matter. Hunter Biden, the disgraced son of former president number 46, Joe Biden. Obviously, he wasn't the successful son. Everybody knows it was Beau Biden, who tragically did pass away from brain cancer, I think in 2015 it was. And he was obviously moving up through the ranks of politics and whatnot. I think in the state of Delaware, where Biden is not from. I've seen that said Biden is not from Delaware. He's from Pennsylvania. But he did come to call Delaware home, which is good. Delaware, please take Joe Biden. We don't need the shame here in Pennsylvania. We really don't. But Hunter Biden has been pretty vocal. He did this weird interview on YouTube. And this is just a picture of what the White House might look like under a Hunter Biden presidency. I don't know what this shovel's. I guess he was digging, I guess. And there's a big bowl of Cheetos here. There's obviously a blow-up doll on the chair of the Oval Office, you know.
a bucket of KFC on top of a lamp.
This is one of those pictures, the more you look at it, the better it gets. If you anybody wants to, pause the video right here, because the more you look at this picture, it's like, oh, there's a golden toilet over there. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You find everything. There's
I'm
a
sure the place would be interesting. for
TV
sure.
from the 1960s, 70s, something
You
like
got a
that.
hoverboard.
He's got everything, man. Yeah, there's it looks like a crowbar here, or something, a flamingo.
Sure, let's say that's a crowbar.
I don't know. That's what I'm gonna say. That's how I call it. But yeah, Hunter Biden did this weird YouTube interview where he seems to be very upset with the Republicans, obviously, with the Democrats for some reason, and with illegals that they need to be here to clean your toilets.
Yeah.
Those are his words, not mine. But this is from Charlie Kirk. A clip is actually from Benny Johnson, but Charlie Kirk says Hunter Biden speaks like a vulgar, bitter drug addict because he is a vulgar, bitter drug addict. Very sad to see the son of a former U.S. president behave like this. It's just undignified and a national embarrassment. I never said the last word of anything. Listen.
What's crazy is everyone basically knows at this point what he's all about, and he still never got charged with anything. He still has one of the illegal pardons that was
Presidential pardon.
placed on by You're one of those futuristic pardons
Hmm.
in case he gets charged for something
Well, no, he didn't get.
by
Well,
the
he.
auto pen.
I don't know exactly what his pardon pertained to because he did get charged with the gun charge for disposing of the gun illegally in a dumpster somewhere. I believe it was in New Jersey or maybe it was in Delaware. I forget the state.
Mm.
But they found out that his wife or his mistress, I'm not exactly sure the term, he ended up sleeping with his dead brother's wife, which is interesting. You know,
I do recall that.
I mean that's a thing I guess you could do. You know, that is a thing. It's kind of weird. But he did get pardoned for that gun charge. Obviously, Joe Biden famously said nobody's above the law, but apparently Hunter Biden is above the law. Joe Biden has gone on record saying he's one of the smartest person he knows. And I guess he has to be. I mean, he's making millions upon, or he was making millions upon millions of dollars from his paintings. He's like the modern day Picasso if Picasso's father was president. You know, so interesting.
And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the fucking criminals. White men in America are 45 more times likely to commit a fucking violent crime than an immigrant.
Hunter Biden does not understand per capita, which I'm not surprised. No offense to Hunter. I'm not going to make fun of him for his drug addiction because apparently he's gotten over that. And obviously drug addiction is a terrible thing. It can affect anybody, anywhere, anytime. But obviously Hunter Biden does not understand per capita, which I'm not surprised by.
And the media says, well, you got David Axelrod and, Rahm fucking Emanuel. Was so fucking smart, Rahm Emanuel. He said, we got to understand that these people are really mad. And we got to appeal to these white voters. Rahm, the only people that fucking appealed to those fucking white voters was Joe Biden, 81 years old.
He sounds pretty, he doesn't sound unhinged at all. He sounds like he's probably off the sauce, right?
He got 81 million votes, and he did not because he appeased their fucking Trumpian sense, but because he challenged it. And he said, you can be an 81-year-old Catholic from fucking Scranton that doesn't understand it, but still has empathy for transgender people and immigrants. And then nobody said, oh, Joe Biden's going to turn us into a socialist state, no matter how much they said it. But
I think people did say that, actually. Although, who knows what Joe Biden would have done? Joe Biden wasn't really running the country, as far as we know. Everyone who goes before Congress is pleading the fifth. They have no idea about his health.
Yeah, they won't answer.
Nobody has any clue what's happening with Joe Biden right now. Nobody has any clue about it. Just the president. Listen, just a misconception that really does get played out a lot. You would think that the president's health is of the utmost importance. It's probably one of the most looked after people in all of the world. But clearly, you'd be wrong. You would be 100% wrong because Joe Biden was not looked after. So,
he's definitely not
he's not
getting the proper care at the very least.
He's not getting the monthly checkups, folks. Just so you know.
these guys think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now or 4 years from now.
In what world would that happen?
First, what 2 years from now or 4 years from now? Like, he forgot that it's actually 4 years from now.
Oh, hold on, I didn't finish the Kona. I mean, just 1 second.
Or 3 years from now.
He's got no fucking clue what he's talking about.
Or 3 years from now.
He's got no clue what he's talking about.
My God. Wow.
If I become the president, you could have just said in the future. That would have been better than
in 2 years, 4 years, 3 years. Like, what?
If I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now.
It's like that's just in the future. You should have just said in the future, buddy.
Yeah.
Sometimes less is
or
a little bit
even
more.
The next president. If I become the next president, there you go. No year required.
And I guess he's got to be talking very hypothetically. In what world would Hunter Biden be able to become president? How would that? I don't think the Democratic Party would accept him. I really don't think that. So, in what world? What are you talking about here exactly?
I don't know what party would make him a candidate for president, and I would never support it. I would never vote for him.
I guess.
all the news I've ever associated Hunter Biden with would be negative news. So why on earth would this guy be a presidential candidate? What's his policies he's running on? Curious. What is his policies on homeless veterans? What is his
Um,
policy on artificial dyes in food? What is his policy on COVID
well, I
vaccines? What is
know.
his policy
I
on
actually, I actually know.
China,
I actually know his policy.
Russia,
It's 10% of the
Ukraine?
10% of the big guy is his
Yeah,
policies. 10% of the big
exactly.
guy, and that you used your influence and your father's status to be able to grease. I mean, foreign nations.
I've
That,
said this numerous times. I hate politics nowadays because it's not about their views. It's not about their political views. It's not about what they're voting or what they promise. It's slander on the other person. Well, this is what this person did. And that's what I'm running on. You shouldn't vote for him because you should vote for me because this person did this.
well, I
Not
mean,
because dot dot dot.
well, I mean, let's wind it back a little bit. Let's say he's a very upstanding person. His official policy is if they don't give back Kilmar Appraisal Garcia, which they did, or maybe he's not just referring to him, maybe he's referring to other illegals as well. He could be. Then I would invade their country. Oh yeah, that would definitely
That's the
be a good
solution.
diplomatic move. Yeah, you definitely don't sound unhinged.
That's
I would
definitely
pick
the
up
next president I want.
the phone and call the fucking president of El Salvador and say, you either fucking send them back or I'm going to fucking invade. It's a
Wow.
fucking crime what they're doing. He's a fucking dictator thug.
And you know what? You should be the first. You should be like Alexander. If you want to do that, you should lead the charge. Lead from the front. You brave, noble son of a gun, you. Lead from the front, sir. Please. It's really easy to order people to go and do things when you don't have to be involved yourself, but I don't know.
Yep.
Obviously,
Definitely a take. It's definitely an interesting take for
this. I
Hunter
mean,
Biden.
listen. Okay, well, he's gonna bash the Republicans for that because he doesn't agree with the illegals being deported because he says it's white men targeting brown people. It has nothing to do with immigration status, which obviously it does, but he's not gonna say that. But now, interestingly enough, I don't know where he's going with this because now he's going to go off on the Democrats and lambaste them for what they did to his father.
Opinions, but
Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him and every.
He sounds very presidential, really does.
And
People
people
wanna-
think Donald Trump has a mouth
I
on
was
him.
gonna say people want to go off on Trump for the things he says, but I'm like,
Everybody around
This is
him.
during a sit-down interview.
yeah. This guy doesn't look like.
Jeez.
I don't know who this person is. Doesn't look like he's that aggressive. Not to me.
No.
I don't know. He's got a
I highly
relax.
doubt he's
He's got a
asking very
relaxed
hard questions.
posture. I don't think he's really grilling this guy too much. He looks like he's kind of just hanging out.
Not to be fucking nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. Fucking George Clooney is not a fucking actor. He is a fucking I don't know what he is.
George Clooney. What?
Yeah.
George Clooney is not a fucking actor. He is a fucking I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him.
George Clooney is an actor. He's a bit of an activist too, but it's like it doesn't sound like somebody who's mentally well to me.
He treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. Fuck you. What do you have to do with fucking anything? Why do I have to fucking listen to you? What right do you have to...
That's actually a good question. But probably because somebody wanted him to write that letter to oust his father as president because he said he's not mentally capable. I don't like George Clooney either from his political standpoints, but he was correct. He wasn't correct exactly. He was correct in writing the letter. He was correct for putting it out that Joe Biden was mentally incompetent. Sure. I don't think he did it for the right reasons, but it was a good thing he did that. Because could the country have dealt with 4 more years of Joe Biden? I highly, highly doubt it.
step on a man who's given
People should have
52
stepped up a
years
lot
of his
earlier than that.
Well, but it's all about political reasoning. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It wasn't about they just he probably got the nod from Obama or Pelosi or Schumer or somebody like that, so I could be like, hey, I can do this op-ed, I can put it in the paper. Now I can, because that was the whole thing they did.
I'm sure he asked somebody, "Is it okay if I put this op-ed out?"
I don't think he even did that. I don't think he did that at all. I think somebody told
How
him.
political he's made himself.
No, I think somebody
believe it.
told him to do it. That's what I think.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that.
Which I don't know for a fact. That's my speculation, but
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
George Clooney held a fundraiser for him, and apparently, from what I've heard, Biden couldn't even recognize George Clooney.
Yeah.
And I'm not like super into Hollywood, but I guarantee you I could recognize George Clooney. He's probably one of the most recognizable people maybe in the entire world.
In my
really.
understanding of the situation too, it wasn't the first time they met.
No, it wasn't. Of course not. No.
Yeah,
It was not the first
fact
time
that
they
he
met.
couldn't
so.
recognize him, and it's somebody that he's met on numerous occasions. I mean,
Well, that was at the same event that Obama had to help Joe Biden get off the stage because he didn't know where he was going, and that's where Obama led him by the arm. They come off stage. So.
Fucking life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the fucking New York Times to me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 fucking years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of fucking David Axelrod. And David Plouffe, and all of these guys, and the Pod Save America guys, who were junior fucking speechwriters in, on Barack Obama's Senate staff, who have been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40, $50 million off the Democratic Party. They're all...
Because... Now, listen, I'm not going to say he's wrong. There's a lot of people who have cashed in on the Democratic Party. There's a lot of people who cash in on the Republican Party. But Hunter, come on, man.
He's acting like he's not one of them.
Yeah, it's like, exactly. Can you... you have no self-awareness at all? Do you really think?
Pretty sure you got the subpoenas in the mail, didn't you?
Do you really think that your fucking paintings are worth? I'm sorry, I shouldn't curse. Worth millions of dollars? Do you not think that you were actually, actively? You think we're all so stupid? We don't know that you were selling influence to your fathers like you did on the board of Burisma when you had no reason to be on that board except that you were Joe Biden's son. Do you not think that we have the emails that says, "Hey, you got to give 10% to the big guy"? And now
how many conspiracies is he personally part of when it comes to
conspiracies,
money laundering? Yeah,
I don't think that many actually.
Actual crimes. Hunter
crimes a lot. I think a lot.
The laptop. I mean, we didn't even talk about the laptop yet. Like,
yeah, which was actually proven to
Yeah.
Everybody knows now that is false, and they should have known it before.
He's saying all this thing about everyone else. Like, wow. I mean, he's not wrong, but again, like
he's not wrong, but it's just you were not the you're not exactly.
What room do you have to say any of this?
Yeah, you're not the mouthpiece that actually should be speaking about any of this. This is definitely the pot calling the kettle black here.
I'm going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times. How to pass more
talk to Maxine Waters about that.
More legislation than any president in history.
I think she's a representative. Sorry, but yeah, still, I think she's going to her like 18th election.
How to have a better midterm election than anybody in history, and how to garner more votes than any president that has ever run. And they're going to replace their judgment for his.
Now that's interesting too. More votes than any president who have ever won, and that is true. If the numbers are to be believed. I don't know. 81 million votes. They didn't show up for Kamala. Where did they go? Poof, gone.
Uncertainties, yeah.
Interesting.
Who's Jake Tapper's audience? Jake Tapper?
My mom or something? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. For real, though. I don't even think it's your mom anymore.
No.
If I were him, I'd go after Jake Tapper, too.
By the numbers,
honestly.
What influence does Jake Tapper have over anything?
Nobody.
He has the smallest audience
Nothing.
on cable news.
Oh, I'm agreeing with Hunter Biden.
I think
jeez.
The book is right now on Amazon that he put out. I mean, his ratings just went to shit after he put the book out. They did a 2-week infomercial for it. I mean, it was such a money grab, such a disservice to everybody that he serves with.
Yeah. Well, they're not protecting my daddy anymore. Well, they never should have been. So, this is him bashing the Democrats. He already bashed the Republicans. Now we're going to hear about Hunter Biden and his take on illegal immigration. Because, listen, obviously I think it's hyperbole. I think it's just a fantasy for this guy. There is no way anybody in the Democratic Party, and I think the Democratic Party, I'm going to go on record, I think they're stupid. I think they're all morons. But there is nobody in the Democratic Party who would be stupid enough to ever put Hunter Biden up for anything. They wouldn't elect him to a school board or a county chair. Nothing. It'd be detrimental. It would be catastrophic.
I don't care what party. He definitely would not be a good candidate, no matter
No,
what.
of course not. No. He's done too much stuff. He looks unsavory in so many ways. I believe he has a daughter with a stripper. I believe. And maybe, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe he has a daughter with a stripper who he does not support and doesn't see, and that Joe Biden has never personally met. I believe that anyway. That's to my knowledge. So he might not be the most savory character, I guess.
For someone, am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. You. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table?
Is that not racist? People are upset about illegal. I'll replay it. People are upset about illegal immigration. Well, how does your hotel get cleaned? I mean,
Let's play it. I want to hear it again.
All right. I mean, are you just reducing illegal immigrants down to menial tasks? Are you trying to, assert them as like some sort of slave labor force? Because it's like, maybe you don't mean it like that. And maybe I am catching straws here, picking at straws, but that's the way it comes off to me.
Let's let him talk for himself, because I think it's pretty clear what he's saying. But yeah, let's let him talk for himself.
All right.
Someone, am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. You. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your table?
Listen, anybody, and I don't think anybody who's going to watch this is ever going to possibly think Hunter Biden could have possibly ran even for a county seat in anything. But I would say this is like the nail on the coffin. This guy does not have a politician's filter. He doesn't have the, he's not polished enough. The guy, obvious, and no offense to him, I'm not polished enough to be a politician either. There's no way I could ever possibly do it. But even I wouldn't say something so unhinged. And I kind of pride myself on that, actually. A lot of the time when we're talking about things, Duke's like, we should rein it back in, don't say this, don't say that. And I'm just like, no, I'll say it. But, it's like, Duke, what do you think? Isn't that crazy? What he just said?
Yeah.
That's like, that's wild.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, he is being very biased with his comments, to say the least.
You're reducing immigrants down to and obviously, there's a lot of very successful people who have come here and started businesses, and you're reducing them down to just, and listen, this is
according to Hunter Biden, all they do is cook food, clean your bathrooms, and wash your dishes.
Listen, and I don't have any. And listen, there's nothing wrong with
clean your hotel room. Sorry,
there's nothing wrong with working in the hotel service.
Job's a job.
My grandmother, when she was older, she used to clean apartments and stuff like that for people. There's nothing wrong with any of those tasks, but I don't like how you look down your nose on these things.
Oh, this whole conversation with it doesn't matter what the topic is. He looks down on everyone like they're lower class.
He looks down on
very apparent with his speech. Very
Republicans,
how he's
Democrats,
talking, everything.
The Hollywood elite, the illegals. He looks down on everybody. It's just like, and this is the guy he wants to maybe have a chance at running in 2028. Wild.
Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your garden? Who do you think is here by the sheer?
See, you get on me for not being PC, but like I'm never this unhinged. Never this unhinged.
No offense, Dutch. I expect a lot better from you than Hunter Biden. I definitely Hunter Biden is not somebody anybody should strive to be.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, actually, because
nobody should ever look at Hunter Biden and be like, I need to act like this.
I don't know if I could be this. I don't know if I could be this racist if I tried.
Sheesh.
Like, because I'd just be like, no.
Please don't even try. Please don't even try, because this is pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe on the next segment. Tune in next. Tune in Wednesday. See how racist I can get.
No, thank you.
Just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance. And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the criminals for someone.
Again, we've talked about this many times. I don't think it's that at all. I'm not going to say that all people who come here illegally are bad people because I don't believe that. No. But I do think that they do have a responsibility to come in the right way.
Do it the right way.
That's it.
Absolutely.
It's actually wild. He's the son of a former president to have such a narrow-minded point of view about this.
And I've already said in previous segments, especially if you've been here for more than 10, 15 years, you have no excuse. Start the process. Save money.
Yeah.
And then you could do it. Anybody's capable of doing it.
Listen, I'm not saying
I personally know plenty of people that have gone through the process and done it. It takes a long time, but start it. It's never going to get complete if you don't start it. Yeah. You can keep finding excuses left and right for everything you do.
I'm not saying it's easy, but nothing worth doing ever is, Yeah,
if you want to be in this country for the benefits, for whatever reason you may be, because you don't feel safe in where you come from, or because you have better opportunities over here.
I think people are seeking a better life.
Do it the correct way. Yeah,
and
do it the correct way. There's
it's
right process way to do it.
And I would say too, I think we hit the birth lottery. We hit the jackpot with it, because if you're born in the United States, I really do think you are so much further. And this is going to seem, it's going to sound
better opportunities.
It's going to sound xenophobic, but I just think it's true. If you were born in the United States, you hit the birth lottery, and you are very fortunate. Not that there are other countries who are good too, but I think
you don't get to pick it. So you're right in being saying that you're being lucky, because you get a lot more opportunities growing up in this country.
Better to be lucky than to be good. That's what I always say. But the whole point of the matter is, it's like, yeah, you're lucky to be born here, and you're lucky if you can immigrate here, but you have to do it legally. Listen, I am like a fourth generation American. My great grandparents came over from Germany, from Austria. They came through Ellis Island, all that stuff. But they did it legally at a time when it was probably a little easier to get citizenship, and I'll admit that, But that's all they want. Like, they had to be vetted. They had to be checked. You gotta make sure who's coming into your country.
It's part of the safety of the country. Yeah.
Just as that way. So, Hunter Biden.
And the people in the country, specifically. It's part of the safety for the people of the country.
Yeah, of course. And that's, what's more important than the safety of the American citizens? That should be what any leader would say. And for everybody saying, oh, Hunter Biden could run for this, I don't believe that. Hunter Biden thinks that. I don't think Republicans don't think that. I don't think any sane Democrat. I think the Democrats are insane. I don't even think they think that. There is no way. They don't think that either. It's not
like I said, I've already said numerous times, I'm neither Republican or Democrat. But either way, I personally don't think it would be in anyone's best interest to put their money behind him.
No, they wouldn't. They would never accept it. They never.
I don't think it would be a smart choice. I don't think they would be that unlogical to make that choice.
No,
there's definitely other candidates. They have other options that would definitely give them, both parties, that would give them better options, better chance of 100%. Success. Hunter Biden is not a high probability of
It's
success.
A pipe dream for them. And it's really a shame, because his brother Bo, who did tragically die, he developed brain cancer. I think he died 2015, which is very sad. But he was like the good son, like the one who could have followed in his father's footsteps. So had he wanted to. Hunter is like kind of the screw up son, But Joe Biden, for all I rag on Joe Biden, he is a man who has been befallen by tragedy, to lose his son. He lost his first wife and his daughter in a car accident. I feel for the guy, I really do, because I don't know how. That takes a lot to persevere, to go forward when you suffer such personal tragedy. But I think it's overcompensated to a point where you elevate somebody who is like, your son's I'm not going to say he's a bad person because he's addicted to crack. I don't think that. But obviously, you shouldn't be putting him on the board of Burisma when you know he's huffing crack in a hotel room. You're not really helping the guy. You're not helping anybody. But that's more of a complicated family issue. Well, let's get into.
I mean, you're helping him. You're helping him financially.
Yeah, but
But
you're
it's
not.
not.
You're not really
It's not
giving him
just.
what he needs, though.
Yeah, no, it's not just fairness. It's not just help. It's yeah, you're enabling
That's
him.
the one thing I'll give to Joe Biden. It's like you lose your wife, your daughter in a car crash, and then you lose your son. That's got to be
It doesn't.
difficult.
It
Has
doesn't
to.
excuse what decisions he's
Oh
done
no, not at all. But
after the fact. That's the issue more than anything
but
because he's putting the safety of his son. He's putting the safety of the people around his son, and people are facing the
no, but
consequences of his
I
son's
can see
actions.
why he's kind of let
That's
Hunter.
the big thing.
I can see why he doesn't care that Hunter's an absolute embarrassment to him because he suffered a lot of loss. So I think that
For a
speaks a
regular
lot to
person,
it.
I understand that logic or
Mhm.
thinking. I don't want to say I understand even, but I get it at the same time because of grief and because of the situation. But when you're in a position of power, part of having that position of power is knowing and not abusing that
Yeah,
power.
that's
And
happened
what
through.
what yeah, but specifically with what he's done with Hunter Biden, he's abused his power clearly to get Hunter Biden every advantage possible. And there's
Well,
very few very few that are less deserving than Hunter Biden at this point with what he does with his personal life.
there's examples of that throughout. I mean, look at Marcus Aurelius. He was one of the greatest Roman emperors of all
But
time.
does it mean that it should continue and should continue to happen because other people done it?
Well,
That's a
no,
horrible
because the golden age of
that's a horrible
Rome,
argument.
because the golden age of Rome ended because he decided to give the emperorship to his son Commodus, who should not have ever been emperor. I mean, if you want to talk about one blemish on Marcus Aurelius's record, because he was a very
You always steer the conversation to Rome.
well, I just thought of it. Yeah, I thought of it, and it's like I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's like, well, actually, that was a bad thing. His love for his son actually clouded his judgment enough that he's like, oh, he can rule Rome. It's like, no, he can't. You should have given it to somebody else. But, a father's love is a very powerful thing. But let's get into the article here. Hunter Biden rages against Trump deportation in a bizarre YouTube interview. How do you think your hotel room gets clean? Who do you think washes your dishes? And in a rage, Hunter Biden ranted against effing dictator thug President Trump over his policy of deporting violent illegal immigrants to a notorious El Salvadorian prison complex and mused about invading the Latin American country if he were in office. Yeah, he sounds sane. I would pick up the... No, I'm gonna do this.
We don't really need to repeat what was said. We just watched the video. That's exactly the depiction of the video.
You think we got enough context from it?
Honestly,
We can skip ahead.
I don't
Sure.
know what. Yeah, I don't know what this article's offering besides what we've already seen in the video.
I think it really contextualizes it, but yeah, we can skip ahead if you don't want to. All
No,
right.
we can. Yeah, the quotes
it doesn't matter to me.
maybe not.
I'm not really like I said.
I think the quotes are a little much, especially with the language that is being used. It's hard to really
Well, I think
maneuver
actually
around all
we
that.
maybe I'm too good at the clips. We covered it. Hunter also raged against Democrats for appeasing what he called the effing Trumpian sense of white voters, and expressed no sympathy for Americans who made illegal immigration a top issue in last year's presidential election. People are really upset about illegal immigration. F you. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you have food on your effing table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Yeah, it's just this guy right here, Mr. Hunter Biden. He thinks he's going to be able to make any type of run. I wouldn't elect him to a county seat. I wouldn't elect him to a school board. I just don't think you have the right temperament for it.
Well, I mean, it's already we already know what's going to happen if he gets any sense of power or any type of authority. He will abuse it. He's abused what little he had as the son of the president already. It's we know what's going to happen. He's going to abuse his power for his own benefit.
Despite
He's
polls
proven it.
showing the issues was an albatross for his father and his party, Hunter lashed out at pundits calling for Democrats to moderate. The younger Biden then argued that the only person who appealed to those effing white voters was his father, not because of the 46th president didn't appease their effing Trumpian sense, but because he challenged it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I think this is it's a delusional ramblings of a madman. He's upset he can't sell his paintings anymore. He's upset that he's no longer relevant. They're no longer in power. The Bidens will never hold any power again, and especially the stuff that's coming out, like I said, with Jake Tapper, with Karine Jean-Pierre. Everyone's going to write a book now about how everyone covered up the whole Biden administration, how he wasn't mentally cognizant. And honestly, I think worse than anything he said, worse than anything Hunter Biden said, is like, do you not give a shit about your father's health? Do you not care? It doesn't seem like you really care. It seems like you want to sell his influence, but you know he's not mentally up to the task to do that anymore. I mean, all right, you're a treasonous person. I would allegedly. That's what allegedly. Let's just say allegedly. You're allegedly a very treasonous person, but you don't care about your father's health? That's insane to me.
I'm not surprised in the slightest. He's speaking enough in the clips that we've shown. He speaks volumes, and he shows his character. He shows his way of thinking. He shows his prejudice. He shows his bias. All that. Like, am I surprised that he shows very little compassion for his father? No, not at all.
Somebody who's been suckled on the teat of the 1% their entire life. They never had to face any real accountability.
He's been enabled his whole life.
Yeah.
It's very clear. He's been enabled his whole life.
It's a perfect word.
He has the mentality of a person that just gets enabled over and over again and never fixes his attitude, never fixes his persona, never fixes his issues that he clearly has because he's been enabled over and over again. Look at the way that he talks and thinks just in those short interviews. If that's not a good insight into the mind of Hunter Biden, I mean,
it's almost like a.
You think there's any more levels to him? No,
I would describe.
I think he's pretty clear who he is. I think he's pretty obvious what kind of person he is.
I think I would describe it actually. It's almost like a child lashing out because they lost a toy. I think that's really what it is. He's angry at the Republicans. He's angry at the Democrats. And I
don't think this is a serious. It should not be something serious and taken seriously. I hope nobody puts any money or any finances into backing this gentleman.
Nobody's going to.
Yeah,
he to think he can run, be the president, and it's like I always say, like AOC or Jasmine Crockett or somebody like that. That would be insane, but this would be even more insane. Like it's just like this is not
This would be nonsense to even.
He could never get on a debate stage ever. But let's move on from that. Don't want to give him any more credence.
Please make sure to like and share and subscribe before we get to our next topic. I don't know. Do you want to try a new format, or do you want? That was the first topic, correct?
Yeah, we can always split it up if we want to. But like I said, next subject is not Caitlin Clark, but the WNBA itself. And the WNBA is demanding more money. The WNBA players, they work very hard. They don't think they're being paid their fair share, so they all came out. This is obviously Caitlin Clark, who is the figurehead pretty much of the WNBA, unofficially. She says, I deserve NBA money. Now, obviously, I don't know if Caitlin Clark believes this or not, or she's probably just standing in solidarity with the other women of the WNBA, because Caitlin Clark is getting tons and tons of money. Maybe not from the WNBA itself, but from sponsorships, sneaker endorsements, everything you can imagine. Everybody knows who Caitlin Clark is. The WNBA right now is leveraging itself because it's more popular than it's ever been. And mainly it's thanks to Caitlin Clark, but she's standing in solidarity, which is a good thing.
Yeah, to be clear, she is not the only one wearing this shirt.
No, she's not. No.
Every single player
everybody came out wearing this shirt. And they all are saying, listen,
more version of it.
We are coming out here, bi-weekly, whatever, and we think we deserve NBA money. Now, unfortunately, the sad reality of that is kind of like this Family Guy clip here.
And at the top of the second half, it's 16-9. Easton leads the scoring with 4.
And that's why she commands $7,000 a year. These gals sure do make it look difficult.
But is having this minor skill worth being so unattractive? That's for the fan to decide. Yay!
I don't really like Family Guy, but that pretty much perfectly encapsulates the current state of the WNBA.
So these shirts that were worn at the All-Star game. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it in the clips. I know I
Oh,
watched a
yeah.
couple clips, and you can see the audience. There's plenty of empty seats.
Yeah, well, okay. I'll address everybody to the clip I just pulled up. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not a huge basketball fan. I've been to a couple basketball games when I was younger. These seats are empty. These seats, and maybe they're for reserved or something. Like seats back here, empty. You can see there's empty seats up here, empty seats up here. I mean, there's some empty seats up here. There are people. I'm not gonna say there aren't, but I mean, obviously, there's
This is the All-Star game. There there should not be empty seats at the All-Star game. The All-Star game is arguably where you go to see the best of the league.
unfortunately for them, there are. So,
Very rarely are are NBA All-Star games empty seats like this. That
I
I'm
don't know.
fairly certain that doesn't happen.
I think
But
it.
let's keep moving on. I don't have the statistics in front of me to truly say that.
I
But
I
go ahead.
don't I don't like the NBA anymore. I watched one of the finals games, the Thunder versus the Pacers, and I was like, it is so boring. I was like, oh my
Well,
god.
let's stay focused on this
Bring me
let's
back
not.
to the
Yeah, let's
Magic
stay focused on the
Johnson, Larry
WNBA.
Bird, Michael Jordan eras. I can't watch the NBA. But
Modern NBA, yeah, that's a whole other topic for another day. Let's stay focused on this WNBA right now. We clearly see that they have a lot of empty seats, and they are having issue filling seats on
ooh.
regular games and including the All-Star game.
I'm gonna mute this real quick just because it's just a lot of
Yeah.
background noise. But you can obviously see it's not just Caitlin Clark, the girl over. Oh,
Everyone has a version of the shirt.
I don't know
Sorry.
this girl. I don't know this girl. Don't know this. I think is Angel Reese.
Correct.
That's the only other person I recognize. But yeah, they're all wearing the same shirts. Pay us what you owe us. Well, I would say that's a very, very poor choice of a shirt. Just because if we're gonna show over here. Obviously, there's more people playing. I don't know who this one is. I don't know who this is. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese.
Regardless. Yeah, it's
But
not.
they all stood in solidarity, which I think if you're going to do a unionized strike or something like that, then all the workers have to strike. So I do believe that that's a good thing to do.
What matters is the message, and the message is they think they deserve a better pay. It's the same message that has been for years. This is not something new. They've been asking for a better pay for many years, and it's always the same argument. I'm sure we were about to cover as like the topic, as the headline says.
Well, unfortunately, from what N wokeness here, I don't know if this statistic is exactly right, but it's fairly true.
Still to this day, they have not made a profit. I know that. So it's probably close.
WNBA loses $50 million every year and has never generated a profit. You deserve nothing, which is yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say. I'm not
WNBA
agree with
has
that.
not made
I
a
don't think
profit
they
yet.
deserve nothing, but they have never actually generated profit in like the 30-some years it's been in existence.
Just like they like to point out, based off of what they bring in financially.
Yeah.
If they want to get paid what they're owed, the reason why they're saying they deserve zero, it's not because they deserve zero based off of their talent. They deserve zero based off of how much revenue they bring in. No. They deserve zero based off of the revenue that they generate. There is no revenue that they generate. It's a wash. They do not make a profit. When a company doesn't make a profit and you want to go based off of the profits, what's the answer? You guys don't make a profit. How can they get more money if there's no profit?
Well, they're lucky they're subsidized.
Where's the money going to come from?
They're lucky they're subsidized by the NBA because there's no
it's the only reason.
There is no other business in existence that can generate a loss for 30-some years and still be in business and still demand a pay raise because it just would never happen.
The only reason they stay afloat is because of the subsidies from NBA. They literally own the WNBA at this point with how much money they've invested into the. They can't stay afloat by themselves.
In all fairness, if you really want to go there. In all fairness, the NBA, hey, float on your own.
Oh, I'm sure.
Why should the NBA
I'm sure
subsidize
if you
your
look
league?
at the contracts, I'm sure NBA has an absolute stake, has an absolute percentage, but they know at this point it's a developmental league. It still is considered developmental league because it doesn't make a profit. Until they actually generate profit, it's just like the G League. It's just
How
like
long?
the
How
D
long would
League.
a
It doesn't make money.
how long would it
They
you
do it
think it
just to
would?
develop.
How long normally you think it would take for a business to actually pick up? I mean, maybe sometimes maybe 2, 3, 4 years, not 30 years. There's no business that's
I mean,
still
it
in
depends on the
business.
industry. It depends on what industry you're
Well, they're
talking about.
they're in a
But with
very
sports like this, again, there are leagues. They're called minor leagues. But you know what? The minor leagues still generate money,
they're but they're
but they're subsidized by the major leagues.
they're in a very unique position where you cannot have you never turn a profit and yet you will still always have a job.
Baseball has triple A, double A, single A. All right.
I mean,
Basketball has the G League, D League, Euro League overseas, which arguably sometimes can generate more profits than or similar
it,
profits to the NBA.
it's welfare though. This is welfare for female basketball players.
WNBA league does not generate revenue.
That's what I mean. So it's welfare. It's
They
literally
can't
welfare.
ask for more money if they don't generate revenue.
Well, apparently they can, and they are.
I mean, they can, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Again, money it's not like the US government. Money can't just be printed and given out. The money has to come from somewhere. If there's no money being made,
It comes from the NBA. Yeah, but
where are they gonna pay them? With what money?
I'm just saying, yeah, you're in a very unique situation. You generate no money. You've never generated any money.
How can you ask for money that's not there?
You have no prospect
Yeah.
in the future of ever generating money, and yet you demand that you be paid more. I don't know any company that's ever been struggling where they're like, we're going to just give all the employees a raise. Doesn't
A
happen.
recent article I read was projections according to what they are as of today. In terms of ratings, audience, people that actually buy tickets to go to games, they are projected to finally start making profit by 2000 by the end of 2026 season.
But
And that's only if it continues in the trend that it's been having for the last couple of years.
the WNBA,
Still to date, they are
Really?
not. Yes,
I'd be
but
surprised about that.
still
Actually,
to this day, they are not making a profit. They are more popular than most
but
recent
that's due to
years.
Caitlin Clark.
Well, whoever it may be, they're still more popular. Does not mean they're
Caitlin
still.
Clark.
Does not mean they are making a profit. Does not mean there is money to dish out. The money just doesn't exist. The money they're asking for doesn't exist.
And yet they're
It's
asking,
really that
and
simple.
yet they're asking for it.
And you can ask
Hey,
for whatever you want.
I
The money doesn't exist.
I don't know how valuable these women actually are. These women are, they might be insanely valuable. We traded Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death. They might be insanely influential, be insanely important, and to a likes of which we don't know yet. But this was interesting. Just stop the whole WNBA already from Tim Pool.
I mean, honestly, it is a very rough. I don't really
We ain't
know
bluffing.
what
We
is
will sit
driving
out.
the NBA to continue to fund this because they will never make their money back.
It's in the
All the investments they made, they will
feminism.
never make their money
It's
back.
fairness, but we ain't bluffing. We will sit it out. I encourage Angel
Millions
Reese.
of dollars every year.
I encourage Angel Reese to sit out. I encourage all the WNBA players to sit out if that's really how they feel. But I guarantee you're not going to have a job. You could be very, very easily replaced.
I mean, you want to sit out and strike. It's at some point you need to have a conversation with a lawyer or a financial advisor to let you understand they can't give you what's not there. It doesn't exist.
No,
How can they give you money that just isn't there?
they're
Where do
asking
you
for
want
it
them to
anyway.
pull this money from?
There's a lot of skill here happening too. It's like, listen, I'm an average.
The average, and I'll tell you right now, most leagues, the All-Star games are not enjoyable because this play is actually very common in All-Star games. And nobody plays seriously, but this is horrible. Like they can't even the majority of athletes that are supposed All-Stars can't make a single layup.
Doesn't
A
look like
basket,
it.
can't make an open three-point shot. Um there's a lot of comments to be said, but that's not raise-worthy performances. I think that's the best comment for this topic that we're talking about right
Well, it
now.
doesn't matter how they
For
perform
people
in
that
the
have
All-Star
been
game or
wearing
not.
shirts and
Doesn't matter.
saying we deserve more money, With what play? With what
It doesn't matter how
performance,
they
with what
perform the
talent?
All-Star game or not. It's like when you generate a profit, then you can talk about raises.
Yeah.
I think that's, how
Yeah.
pretty much everything works. WNBA players want more money, but it's more complicated than that. WNBA stars are pushing for 1 million salaries. The league says it can't afford it. The real story, a tangled web of revenue splits, ownership stakes, and increasingly impatient investors. When the WNBA announced its All-Star game would be played in Indianapolis, it was supposed to be a celebration for the growing league. Attendance had doubled overnight. It was a Caitlin Clark. And a new $2 billion media rights deal is about to kick in. Now the WNBA would celebrate its growth by hosting its best players for a weekend full of activities with the league's top media and sponsorship partners right in Caitlin Clark's backyard. I wonder why they did it there. Interesting. Why would they do it?
PR move. I mean, it would be a smart financial
Why
PR
would they
move.
do it where Caitlin Clark is known to play? Is that it?
And there was a lot of drama behind that decision too, of course, because why not? But yeah, it's a very smart financial PR move. It's not a bad move whatsoever.
No, but they
It's
did
just
it because
silliness to even talk about
if
it.
they did it in Chicago, they never would have gotten even anywhere near the
It's
attendance.
just silliness to even talk about it. Exactly. Yeah, they have to. They're doing what's in the best interest for the league. Come on. Now.
The only problem, that feeling of jubilation ended before it even began. Caitlin Clark withdrew from the three-point contest in the game due to an injury. The sport's most vocal cheerleader spent 40 hours lambasting Shane Gillis for his WNBA joke at the ESPYS. And the only viral highlight from the weekend came during pregame on Saturday night when players entered the court during warm-ups wearing shirts that read, "Pay us what you owe us," a negotiation tactic during the middle of CBA talks. So today's newsletter is going to break down everything you need to know about the WNBA's CBA negotiation, including what players are asking for, the league's finances over the last 25 plus years, the NBA's current ownership stake, and much more. This is one of the most important and consequential moments in the WNBA. Let's dive in. And obviously, I'm not going to subscribe to this. We don't need to dive in. We can actually go through this last paragraph and pretty much what the players are asking for more money. The league's finances are in the negative. The NBA's ownership stake is they subsidize the league. And that's pretty much it. You're not turning a profit. Actually, if you were to want to be paid what you are owed, and this wouldn't be fair to the women either, I'm not saying it would be, but they would all owe about $275,000. There's 144 players. If you divide that all up from what they're actually losing annually, you'd all actually owe about $275,000.
Yeah, they would owe money based
would
off of the revenue
all
of the
money.
league. They would owe money.
And you
So,
know what? And
again, yeah, you can ask for whatever you want to ask for, but
And
if
you
the
know what?
money's
You
not
should
there, we're not
thank
getting anything.
Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is the only reason you don't owe more, because she's the only reason people are at least going to the Indiana games. Nobody else is going to any of those games at all.
There's a handful of WNBA players. I don't regularly watch it, but I do pay attention to articles and statistics and whatnot. And Caitlin Clark, arguably, she might not even be the best player, but she is just the best
Sounds like crap.
attention grabbing. Um, Statistically, she's not the best player, especially ever since she got her injury. But that's a whole other topic.
Well,
You
not
know,
in
it's
the
hard to
league,
have
no,
good
but
statistics when you are injured. And that has to do with a lot with the issues with the current reffing of the league, which has gotten a lot of criticism, even to the point where the commissioner of the NBA has criticized the reffing of the
well,
league.
she's the rookie
And
of the year last year. So, but
yeah, which is great, but there are definitely other people that are just as good as her. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say better, but they are definitely same level as her. She just happens to have gotten a lot of PR and a lot of of the drama that has gone between her and Angel Reese has really fueled the attention, which is good in a sense because it's actually giving time and light to the WNBA, which in turn increases the revenue for the WNBA. But yeah, for players and for coaches and for anybody fans to act like Caitlin Clark isn't a major reason why the company or why the league is surviving and getting better is
yeah,
delusional.
it's cap.
It's getting
It's straight up
better
cap. Yeah.
because of her specifically.
No.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean, listen. If the WNBA women they want to, go on this crusade, more power to them. I don't think they're going to get too much. I think they should really worry about turning
They
a
can't
profit.
get what's
But
not there. That's really what it comes down to. They can't get what's not there. But anyway, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know if you watch the WNBA and who your favorite player is.
this is more of a segment, really, on. It's about Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres has just come out and she said, I moved to the UK because I was afraid of what Trump might do to me. And it's not really a segment of Ellen. It's just more of a Trump derangement segment. But it's about how these... And listen, I give a lot of credit to Ellen. I give a lot of credit to Rosie O'Donnell here, which we're going to go through in a second. She said she was going to leave the U.S. if Trump got elected, and they did. So I gotta... Hey, they put their money where their mouth is. I'm waiting for... Whoopi Goldberg says she's going to leave. She's still here for some reason. Can anybody
Waiting
get
for her contract to end with The View.
Anybody? That'll never end. She's getting like $100,000 a week. I mean, why would you? Obviously, her gated community is not. She's not really feeling threatened behind those ivory towers or those gated communities, those walls. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over the Trump deranged people. I'm gonna start with Rosie, then we're gonna go to Ellen. Rosie O'Donnell, she was pretty okay in the Flintstones movie. Kind of all I know her from.
CHF, chronic heart failure. That's what every single nurse on TikTok is saying that our president has, which is much more serious than what they admitted to. And would he ever admit that he had chronic heart failure? Of course he wouldn't. He doesn't admit how much
It's not our president. You moved to Ireland. You're not a citizen here anymore, so.
he weighs or how tall he is, He lies only and always. So you know damn well that what they said he has, he doesn't have. And from the swollen ankles and the catheter that he wears and the...
Talk about, throwing stones from a glass house. I mean, no offense, Rosie O'Donnell. And I know I'm not your type. I know that. But I don't know if I would say you're the picture of health. I'm just going to leave it there.
Diapers. That's what they're all saying. Chronic heart failure. Thoughts and prayers, Mr. President.
I'm just going to say what Trump said. Rosie, you're fired.
Personally, I think Rosie O'Donnell's best project was Impractical Jokers.
She was on Impractical Jokers?
It's a long-going joke. Sorry, it's you probably, if you don't know Practical Jokers,
I've seen Impractical Jokers. I don't know.
One of the members, Q, they always joke around with Q saying that he looks like Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Yeah, I haven't seen that in years and years and years.
She guest starred one time to make a joke on Q. Because they look similar.
Ireland is known for very happy, fun-loving people. Great attitude, many in this room right now that I've met. Why in the world would you let Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I think she's going to lower your happiness level.
That's true. Thank you. I like that question.
Mr.
Do you know you have
President,
Rosie O'Donnell?
are you expecting?
Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
You better off not knowing.
Obviously, Trump is pretty happy that he kicked Rosie out of the country. But then we're not talking about that. We're talking about Mrs. I guess, Ellen DeGeneres. She's been married for a while to Portia Del Rosie. Was actually a pretty good actress, actually. I mean, she was great on Arrested Development. I don't know if anybody's seen that. It's an older show. But Arrested Development's great.
Okay.
Yeah. Played, it's okay. Oh, it's like, I mean, dude, it's like the best mockumentary style thing. Much better than Parks and Rec. It's much better than The Office. Much better. What do you mean?
Much better. I don't know about much better.
Oh, much better.
Again,
yeah.
it's a good. Well,
it's got
it's a good show, but I don't know about much better.
It's got Jessica Walters, Jeffrey Tambor, David Cross, Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, Portia Del Rosie. Who's the guy who plays Buster? I can't remember. Right? Michael Cera, he was on it. Yeah, it's not about much better. It is an all-star cast. It's an amazing cast. And it's so much more quick-witted. The Office is so dry. I don't know. I can't stand it. I don't watch The Office.
To each their own. I love The Office. I will die in that hell. I love The Office.
If you like what do you think's better, right? Arrested Development or The Office? Write it down in the comments, because But all right, we're gonna go into a little bit of Ellen's backstory here. Now, if you don't know, Ellen in 2019, she was revealed, instead of being the be kind lady, she was revealed to be a very mean person. And I think this probably prompted her fleeing of the United States, because her show got canceled. She couldn't get the viewership back. This was all kind of during the COVID pandemic and whatnot. So I guess maybe 2020 is when it came out. But yeah, she couldn't come back from this. The Be Kind lady was actually a really evil witch behind the scenes, so they say. And this is Ellen's apology video. She's gonna take accountability.
I have been posting my.
Which I don't know. Have you ever watched anything Ellen's in and really think she was great? No, I'm
Not
not.
my cup of tea.
I'm not like really an Ellen fan. I think she was okay. She played Dory in Finding Nemo. I mean, I found like she was fine in
that's
that.
a loose
Yeah.
character for it.
Yeah,
When you're a
but-
voice actor, it's not really you, it's your voice. I mean,
I thought that was okay.
I don't
Like, I didn't mind
consider
her in
voice
that, but,
acting
like-
truly acting. That's your voice.
Thoughts and my
I mean, it's
stance
acting. Don't get me
on
wrong.
this,
Yeah.
but I haven't spoken directly because I don't know what to say. I am so sad.
Your grift has been So just for context here, Ellen DeGeneres, the Be Kind lady, her show has been revealed that she's been a horrible, horrible person behind the scenes for many, many years. She's a toxic work environment where the staff felt abused, where the executive producers and herself covered it all up. But Ellen's going to tell you about how she's so sad that all got revealed. I don't know.
Right,
I don't work in Hollywood. I'm just saying it can't be that hard to be nice.
Angry. And
She is not the first. I'm sure she won't be the last person
I know
I've
I'm
ever
not gonna
heard
say
of
the
being a
right thing. I
shitty
know
person
that there are
in
gonna be
Hollywood.
a lot of people who are going to be in disagreement with what I say, but I have a platform and I have a voice, and I have always stood for equality. I've always wanted to be the voice for people who felt like they didn't have a voice, because I know what that feels like. And maybe you don't agree with how it's coming out, but you have to understand it, and then we can heal it. I'm just so
I'm gonna let this play. I'll be right back.
sorry that it's come to this. I really don't know what to say other than this has gone on way, 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 way too long. People have gotten away with murder.
Oh.
And that's what's happening.
Definitely sounds like a heartfelt apology.
So we've got to see fairness and we've got to see justice for all. Because right now, this is not a fair world. Not at all. I don't know if it will ever be completely fair, but we have a long way to go to even get close to being fair. And if you don't understand this, then you have never felt like you weren't heard or you weren't equal. But if you've ever felt that, magnify it and see what's happening. And let's send a whole bunch of love out there and try to find some peace and some communication in this.
Yeah. Just in time.
Did
that
that
was.
did that replay
was
a
that
second
so-
time, or was that just
No, please no, please
Okay.
no. Was that it was supposed to be an apology, or
It was supposed to be, yeah.
have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not an apology. I'm sorry about the world being an unfair place.
She took accountability in
That's
her way.
that's the quick gist. I'm sorry for the world being an unfair place. Like,
in
welcome
her
to the world. And apparently she couldn't even actually say what she was sorry for. She just turned it into, yeah, the world's not a good place, and I'm sorry. I try and speak for the people that it's not fair for, which
in her way,
newsflash,
in her way, she
newsflash,
took accountability. I
newsflash.
think, so
The world's not fair to anyone in this world, just in different ways.
jeez. So this is her and Portia Del Rosie. They are in some pub in the United Kingdom. And they have left because, and now they've confirmed because they didn't want to live under, so they say, a dictatorship. And they didn't want to live under Trump. So, and I give them a lot of credence. You know, Ellen DeGeneres.
It's always good to be an advocate for certain things, but when the advocate ends up being exposed for not being a good person,
yeah, I mean,
hypocrite. You know, like
it
it's
destroyed Ellen's brand. It destroyed because she was
absolutely, yeah. No wonder you're not as significant as you used to be. Well,
yeah.
it's now because people are actually seeing who you really are. It's hard to hide from the truth when they know who you are now.
Yeah, she made her money. She'll be all right. And
Yeah.
I give her credit. I give Rosie O'Donnell credit too. They hated
At least
Trump
they
so
were,
badly, and they were
yeah.
like, we're gonna leave, and they left. Take Whoopi
At least
Goldberg
they were
with you,
people of their
please.
words.
Take
Yep.
Whoopi with you, please. Ellen DeGeneres finally confirms Trump's influencer UK move. We're staying here. Ellen DeGeneres confirmed that she and her wife, portion of Rosie, decided to pack up and move to the UK because of President Trump's re-election. The former talk show host, 67, detailed her new life across the pond during a conversation with British host Richard Bacon on stage in Cheltenham, Gold, Goldshire. What?
I'm not even gonna attempt.
Admitting that she and the Arrested Development star, 52, initially only planned to stay in the UK for a couple of months. The couple pulled the trigger on a permanent move in November following Trump's historic win over Democrat nominee Kamala Harris. Following their move, the duo set up camp in the ritzy Cotswolds, which is known favorite among Hollywood elite. Yeah, I'm sure they're not around too many immigrants. I would just guess. We got here the day before the election and woke up to lots of texts from our friends with crying emojis, and I was like, "He got in," she said, and we're like, "We're staying here." The couple who wed in 2008 after 4 years of dating proved they were serious about uprooting their lives across the pond after buying a sprawling farmhouse in the hoity-toity area in southwest England, nearly 2 hours from London, for an eye-popping 18 million. Some 3 million over the asking price. Wow. Their new rural life includes tending to their horses, chickens, and dogs. It's absolutely beautiful, the comedian said. We're just not those are New York Post words. Those aren't mine. I didn't say comedian. It's absolutely beautiful, Ellen said. We're just not used to seeing this kind of beauty. The villages and towns and architecture. Everything you see is charming. It's just a simpler way of life. It's clean, she went on. Everything here is just better. The ways animals are treated. People are polite. I just love it here. Ellen DeGeneres, and you can see here, I don't think she's getting her daily doses of adrenochrome because she's aged about 10 years in about a few months.
I mean, she's always been, man. That's what makeup, and when you have a whole cast of people trying to make you look good, that's what it does, man. She's looked old for a long time. I remember seeing photos of her and thinking the same thing many, many years ago. She is not young. I forget how old she is. Something 50 something.
I think it just said set up here 67.
67. Yeah, she looks her age. I think she definitely looks her age.
So where are we at here?
Maybe she hit it better when she was on television, but she looks exactly her. She's very aged.
DeGeneres also hinted that she and DeRossi could be looking to get married again in the UK. Baptist Church in America, yada, yada, yada. I don't really give a shit. I wish we were at a place where it was not scary for people to be who they are. I wish that we lived in a society where everybody could accept other people and their differences. Elsewhere during the chat, the community hinted at a possible return to showbiz. That's never going to happen. I just don't know what that is yet. Anyway, I don't...
Listen, her message, and absolutely, you know, I don't think, at least I'm not aware of Donald Trump getting rid of any laws that have anything to do or against gay marriage.
No.
As far as I know, it's still legal.
Donald Trump is probably the most pro gay marriage Republican.
So I'm not exactly sure what they were specifically, like what laws they were worried that he is going to be taking away or rights.
They can virtue signal like this, and that's all that matters.
Either way, I think the biggest
she has to revive her terrible image. That's what I believe.
The biggest message about this whole story is good. Like we said, thank you for keeping your promise about going to another country, but it doesn't excuse what your behavior you've been doing for over a decade on your show, and people finally called you out on it, and you gave a half-assed apology. I'm just not a fan of these half-assed apologies by these celebrities, by anyone, influencers, celebrities, and they give these. It's not even an apology. I feel weird saying that it's an apology because not once did they truly apologize for what they are accused of during their apology. They apologize while transitioning into their message, which it usually has nothing to do with the topic of their behavior. apologize for the piece of shit that you act, that you act like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, apologize for the people whose lives you've made miserable countless times through the years that worked for you, that have gone on record saying like, yeah, she was awful to work for. Apologize.
I think
Like it's
I think their egos are too big for that. I really do.
And honestly, it must be that must be really it, because you make an apology that isn't an apology, like, and you think that that's okay. Like to me, that's
when
an
she
extra spit in the face to the
when
people that
she's
are
on the
called out on it.
show, she's on the show. Her name is she's the figurehead. Her name is, it's the title.
It doesn't matter if it's your
Everybody
fucking
else is
show. It doesn't mean you
everyone
treat
else is a
people like
pleb.
shit.
Well, she does apparently.
I'm sorry.
Everyone's a pleb. She's the star. Everyone else is.
But you
beneath
want to
her.
scream all about equality. You want to scream all about fairness and
she
making
doesn't.
sure society, everybody loves everybody. But the people that work to make you money, the people that are working to make you look good, the people that are working to make your show successful,
They all do this.
you treat like shit. But then you scream
just-
equality. You're hypocrite. Another fucking hypocrite in show business. Everyone's a fucking hypocrite.
We didn't have this in this segment because I didn't think there was enough material for it, but we did mention about Mark Ruffalo, who now says we need to be socialists. And it's like, well, if we're going to be socialists, man, why don't you redistribute your $35 million since you hate capitalism
you sure
so
do
much?
have a big net worth for somebody who wants to be a socialist.
For somebody who wants to be a socialist, you sure want to live high off the hog.
I feel like maybe you should be
I don't care
working with charities more. Like I know he definitely does work with charities. I do know that. But if you still have $35 million, if you still have $35 million at your disposal, you're clearly not working with charity and donations.
No, he should be
donating your money as much as you're talking.
He should be redistributing his wealth, and it's just like that's not my standards. Obviously,
last I checked, you don't need $35 million net worth to survive in any state in this wonderful country.
Well, that's what I mean. Everything's virtue signaling. It really is.
Exactly.
But,
you want to send the message out there, but you don't live by the message.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. It's just your words are empty if you can't exemplify what you're trying to say.
Well, anyway, wrapping this up though, I would say, listen, Ellen, I think it's great you stood by your convictions. You moved to the UK. I hope you have a wonderful life there, and I hope you don't come back. I hope you keep Rosie O'Donnell, because Rosie O'Donnell's thinking about coming back, and I hope you don't do that. I really hope.
I
you
truly
stay
do
over
think,
there.
especially people in the business that have suffered from your interactions, would probably say, please stay over there. We're fine without you.
I've never met her in my life. I've never suffered anything from her. I say stay over there. So, But anyway, like I said, we don't have a fourth topic today. It was a little hard to find news. But
and like I always try to point out to Dutch, my friend, I don't think a fourth topic is always required. I'm pretty sure we are still at an hour and a half, my friend.
We're close, but not quite. But that's going to be it for the show today. We will be back on Wednesday. Please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. And Duke, you got anything else to add?
Just catch you on the next one like always.
All right, and we will be back. Yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday. Later.